Hey, it's Shabir from Capacity Maths Tutoring, and for my very first YouTube video, I'm going to be teaching you about ratio, and in particular, sharing an amount into a ratio. Now, there are lots of different styles and types of questions that you could get on ratios, and sharing an amount into a ratio is just one of those particular types. I'm going to be making videos on all the different types of questions you could get in your GCSEs, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and click the bell next to it to stay up to date with my videos. So let's get into the very first example. So in this example, we're going to be splitting 350 meters into two different unequal parts. And what I would always recommend that you do with any ratio question is to use diagrams. So in this case, we've got 3 parts to 7 parts. So the way I would draw this out is the 3 parts and the 7 parts like this. And what this is telling us, and what the information it's giving us with the 350 meters, is that is how much we have got in total altogether. So I'm going to say that all of these in total are worth 350 meters. And what we want to do here is work out how much we would have in these 3 parts and how much we would have in these 7 parts. The most important thing to remember with ratios is each of these parts must hold the same amount in there. The first thing we're going to do is, as we can see, we have got 10 parts altogether. So the first thing I'm going to do is share the 350 into the 10 parts that we've got, which gives us 35 meters per part. And what I would now go and do is just write that in for each one. To then work out how much we've got in these 3, we're going to do 3 lots of 35, and to work out how much we've got in these 7, we're going to do 7 lots of 35. So 3 lots of 35 and 7 lots of 35. So 3 lots of 35 would be 105 meters, and 7 lots of 35 would be 243 meters. And finally, we just want to write our answer as a ratio. So 105 meters to 245 meters. Now, the only difference to this example compared to the first one is that now we're splitting the 180 grams into 3 different sections rather than the 2 sections from before. But the principle is the same. So we're going to draw the ratio out as a diagram. So 2 to another 2 to 5. And the information tells us that we've got 180 grams altogether, which we're going to represent like this. So how many parts have we got altogether this time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 parts altogether. The first thing we need to do is work out how much we will have in each part. So 180 grams divided by 9 parts, which would be 20 grams per part. And then we're going to write this in each one. And all we now need to do is work out how many is in these 2, how many grams we have in these 2, and how many grams we have in the 5 there. So we're going to do 2 lots of 20, another 2 lots of 20, and finally 5 lots of 20 for the final part. So 40 grams, 40 grams, and 100 grams. Our answer is 40 grams to another 40 grams to 100 grams. And there we've shared 180 grams into a ratio of 2 to 2 to 5. So now it's your turn to have a go. So if you press pause, and when you're ready, press play, and I'll be going through each question and you'll be able to check if you got them right. Okay, let's see how you did. So for the first question, we would draw out the diagram like this. So we know that here we've got 35 sweets in total, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts altogether. So I'm going to share 35 between the 7 parts that I've got, which means I'm going to have 5 sweets in each part. And then to work out how many I would have in 4 parts, I would do 5 times 4, which is 20, and 5 times 3, which is 15. So my answer for the first question would be 20 to 15. For the second one, we've got 2 parts to 7 parts. And we're sharing the 350 ml in total. So all together, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So I'm going to do 315 divided by the 9, which gives me 35. So 35 in each part. And now I just need to work out how many I would have in 2 parts. So 35 times 2 is 70, and 35 times 7 is 245. So the answer is 70 to 245. And finally, for the last question, where I'm splitting the 63 into 3 different parts, I've got 2, 3 parts, and 4 parts. And I want to share 63 into those. So 63 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is 7. We'll have 7 in each part. And now I'm going to do 2 lots of 7, which is 14, 3 lots of 7, which is 21, and 4 lots of 7, which is 28. So my answer for this one would be 14 to 20 to 28. So I hope you got those 3 questions now, and if you did, what we're going to do is move on and have a look at how we would apply this to some worded problems. So in this question, we've been given a ratio of 7 to 3, and it's telling us that there are 210 people at the match. That is in total, so we've got to share that amount into the ratio. So we've got the 7 parts and 3 parts. Now, because it's mentioned adults first, that represents the 7 parts that's been mentioned first. So I'm just going to label, and the other is going to be the children, because that's what's mentioned afterwards. And the 210 that we've got in total would be represented like this. Now in this question, it's only asking for us to tell them how many children attended the football match. So what this is, we want to know how many people are in those 3 parts. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 parts altogether. So I'm going to share the 210 and 10 into the 10 parts, which gives me 21. Each one of these parts represents 21. And because we only want to know how many children we've got, that's 3 parts. So I'm going to do 3 lots of 21, which would be 63. And therefore, there are 63 children at this football match. So here we've got the angles in a triangle are in a ratio of 2 to 3 to 5. How many degrees are there in each angle in the triangle? So we've got the ratio 2, 3 to 5, but what we haven't got are any other numbers to work with. And the clue is the angles in the triangle. And what we know about the angles in a triangle is that they add up to 180 degrees. And it's this 180 degrees that we've got as the total. And so what we want to do is share 180 degrees into the ratio of 2 to 3 to 5. So this is a question that's similar to what we've just been doing. So we're going to draw out the ratios as parts and blocks. We've got 180 degrees in total to share. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 parts altogether. So we're going to do 180 divided by 10, which is 18. So each one is 18 degrees. And because we want to know how many degrees there are in each angle, so all 3 in this one, we're going to do 2 lots of 18, or 2 times 18, 3 times 18 for this one, and finally 5 times 18 for this one. So 2 times 18 is 36, 3 times 18 is 54, and 5 times 18 is 90. And if we've done this correctly, these 3 angles should add up to 180 degrees. So 36 plus 54 is 90, plus a 90 add up to 180. So we know we've done it correctly. And that's how you share an amount into a ratio. Thanks for watching my video. Hit the like button if you like this video, share it with your friends, comment whether it's a question, suggestion, or opinion, and finally, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it to stay tuned for more maths videos.